get started. Just the camera, some. What's his Steve Reed? Steve Reed Love? I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it. I can't really see that far. Um, and bless you. Thank you for being here. Come on in, family. Come on in. It's gonna be kind of hectic today. It's gonna be a kind of rough session. Trying to adjust the camera some. Man, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, family. Man, I'm kind of nervous. Kind of nervous. What's up with you, babe? Hoo-wee. Raymond, what's up with you, brother? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Man, I'm going to go ahead and get started, family. Man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, God, what's up with you? I like that title. I like that handle. I like that. Man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, I bless each and every one of you for being here. Man, may you continue to grow. I can't read that far, my bad. Stevie Love, what's up with you? Man, bless you all. And those that catch this later on the replay, man, may God bless you as well. Man, family, yesterday on the second live, yesterday evening, we had a question and answering live. And there was a question asked by Garrett Patterson. I believe that's the name, Garrett Patterson. And the question he asked was, why do we forget who we are? Or why do we forget why we're here? I can't remember exactly how the question went. What's up with you, Deanie? Man, but it was along those lines. Why do we forget why we're here? Or why do we forget who we are? And so that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? And it's a trip because those of us that go through the most, Miss Rocky, bless you, thanks for being here. Those of us that go through the most, those of us that have the roughest childhoods, or not even just the roughest childhoods, those of us that, man, we were called from our youth, you know what I mean? And the trip is every single one of us, every person, I don't care how rough your childhood was, I don't care how great your childhood was, every single soul came here for a purpose. Every single soul came here on a journey. And prior to that soul getting here, being born into this world, that soul made a soul contract with other souls. Okay? We have to understand that first and foremost. Every soul here has a soul contract with multiple people. Okay, and so we have to understand that, you know what I mean? And so often, we look at the people that have caused us the most pain. So often we look at the people that have broken our hearts the most, the people that have caused us the most frustration, the people that have messed up our world, you know what I mean? Men that have shook us to our core, the people that have gotten us to the point of, man, we want to commit suicide, the people we hate the most for doing the most to us. We have to understand our soul had a contract with those people before we got here, before they got here. Okay? In the other dimensions, there's no thing as time. Okay? There's no such thing as time. Only here in this third dimension. Only here on planet Earth. Our school, our university, our playground, whatever you want to call it. Okay? And so when you look at life beyond Earth, there is no time. Okay, and so our souls are forever. Our souls, they they live forever. You know what I mean? And it's a trip because I hear all these Christians say, "Man, you're gonna, ask God to come into your life because you're gonna live forever and all this other stuff." Everybody's gonna live forever. Everybody lives forever. Your soul lives forever. Your body's not gonna live forever in any dimension. You know what I mean? Your body is not going to live forever, but your soul will. Your soul has been here from the beginning. Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere. And so your soul has all these contracts. Okay? You don't remember the contracts when you get here. Just like you don't remember living or having different experiences in different dimensions, in different realms, as living as other people. We don't remember that. And some of us do. Some of us will say, man, I had a nightmare or I had a dream that I remember being whoop de whoop de whoop. Or, man, I remember I keep having these crazy dreams that I lived as an Indian or I lived in Britain. I lived in Africa. I lived in the islands. We had all these different dreams. We think they're dreams. That we lived as different people, different things, in different times. The reality is, those aren't really dreams. Those are just fragments or memories that have been attached to your soul, that your soul has brought into this dimension. It's a trip because sometimes some of us come into this dimension and we know things that makes no sense to us. We know things that have absolutely no understanding in this realm. I came into this realm as this black guy living in California, born and raised in San Jose, California. But I've always had an affinity for the Chinese culture. I've always understood things about the Chinese culture. I never studied. I never read. I never looked at. We didn't have internet back in the 70s. The only way for us to learn that stuff was for us to go to get encyclopedias and books at the library to do research. And I wasn't about to do all that. I wasn't doing that stuff as a kid, but yet I knew this stuff about traditional Chinese medicine. Yet I knew this stuff about Kung Fu and the Chinese lifestyle that nobody had exposed me to. I didn't understand why I knew that stuff. I couldn't understand how I knew that stuff. So many of us have different things like that in our lives. We don't understand our infinity for a certain culture. We don't understand our infinity for certain things in life. That makes absolutely no sense to us. And the odds are it's because we brought that in with us in this soul, in part of our soul. That's what we remember. That's all that we remember. And so we have this thing of, man, I don't know why I love horses. I don't know why I love the ocean. I don't know why I love the sea. I don't know why I love the mountains or the snow or da. Man, and you've never been around that stuff in this lifetime. But you have this fascination for it. You have this affinity for it. You have this longing, like, man, I belong there. Like, that's home to me. And the trip is, so many of us, we come into this life and we raised in a family. And most of the time, what they teach us is the complete opposite of why we came here. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And so we come into this family and there's all these things that we want to learn. There's all these things that we want to know. It's like, you guys know the story about my dad. And it's true. My father was the most cruel person I've ever met. My father was the most angry, twisted being I've ever met. And I never understood that as a kid growing up. I never understood, why did my daddy hate me so much? Why did my daddy despise me so much? What did I do as his little baby to make my daddy hate me? I'm just a little toddler, just a little baby, and he has such hate for me. Why? And nobody can understand that. Nobody can explain that. And I couldn't understand that. And I'm crying out to God years later, why did my daddy hate me so much? What was so wrong with me that my father was disgusted by my looks? What was so wrong with me that my daddy hated the fact that I was growing up left-handed like my mama, and they would beat me to make me right with my right hand and to do things right-handed? I'm named after my daddy, but he hates me. And I never understood. My family couldn't explain that to me. And all my family taught me was more of how to hate myself. I didn't come here to hate myself, but my family taught me how to hate myself. That may not have been their plan. That may not have been their purpose, but that's what they taught me. Elijah, my name wasn't Elijah back then, but they taught me, Man, you ain't good enough. You ain't shit. You going to hell. You gonna die before you 18, or you gonna be in prison for the rest of your life because you ain't shit. You got the devil in you. This is all the stupid stuff that they fed me. And so I grew up in this household, and many of us grew up in households, and man, the sole purpose of us growing up in that household, no matter how bad, how toxic it was, how hateful it was, how abusive it was to teach us some shit. Was to teach us how to love ourselves. See, we wanted to come back here and learn how to love. And many of us, we don't understand really how to love unconditionally. Most of us, we truly struggle with learning or struggle with loving unconditionally. We can love other people, but we can't love ourselves. We value and respect and cherish other people, but we don't do that for ourselves. And so one day I'm sitting there and my wife, this is back in 2016, and my wife, 2015, my wife is getting ready to pass away from cancer. And I'm sitting there and I'm just crying, having a conversation with God, asking God, why do you hate me so much? Why has my life been so fucked up from the gate? Why have I been so fucking cursed? What did I do so fucking, I can't understand. What did I do so, was I born? Was that what I did wrong? Because I couldn't remember anything that I did to deserve the hell that I went through. And I'm mad at my daddy and I want to kill him. I told him I was going to kill him. And God had to tell me something. He sat me down and said, Elijah, you don't understand death. You don't understand life. You have a fear of dying. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. You have a fear of dying. And I'm like, he said, Elijah, your family has told you from the beginning that you're going to hell. You don't believe in it, but there's a part of you that still holds on to that. There's a part of you that still clings to, what if they're telling the truth? Am I damned to hell? I don't want to go to hell, but am I damned to hell? And so because you have that part of you, that tiny piece of you that wonders that, you're scared of dying. Elijah, because you hate your daddy so much, and now your wife is dying, and there's nothing you could do to stop that. There's nothing you could do to change that. It's making you come face to face with your fear of death. It's making you sit there and not respect, but sit there and reflect on life. Because anytime any of us, we lose a close loved one, anytime death is staring us in the face, man, we stop and change our whole perspective of life. We stop and we start taking it and looking at life totally different. What's up with you, Joker? What's up with you, Josh? We start looking at life and start wondering about life. What's the meaning of life? Why am I here? What's my purpose? Because death looks inevitable. Death is knocking at the door. And so when you got a wife that's dying from breast cancer, and you have a brother, I just had a brother in 2014 that died of colon cancer. And so death is all around me now. Death is knocking at the door. And normally death comes in threes. And so I'm wondering, man, is this my chance to get my shit straight before I die? Is my death gonna be right after my wife's? Man, I'm ready to fucking go. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go. So I thought. And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking to God. Why? Why? And God showed me, Elijah, I know you hate your daddy. But you and your daddy had a contract. There's a lot of stuff that you had to face in this lifetime. There's a lot of karmic debt that you had to acknowledge and understand and learn in this lifetime. And you chose to go through all of these lessons in this one lifetime, Elijah. You don't remember it, and it would have been unbearable for you to have remembered all of the shit that you chose to go through. See, we don't remember our past lives. See, because we couldn't process, we couldn't handle that in this lifetime. We couldn't handle the burden of all the mistakes and our fucked up errors and and just the things we've lost if we remembered all of that in this lifetime. We struggle with just the losses of the people we have in this lifetime. How the hell can you handle all of the losses you've gone through in this lifetime and the lifetimes before if you remember them all? How can you handle the pressures and the stresses of all the mistakes you've made in the past if you can't handle the mistakes you've made now? We get so frustrated and so depressed and so twisted over the mistakes that we've made in this lifetime. We have such regret over the choices we made just in this lifetime. You can't imagine the weight of the world that we would be carrying if we remembered all of the mistakes of all of our lifetimes, all of the tragedies of our lifetime. Not just this lifetime, but all of our soul lifetimes, all of the human experiences our soul has had. We couldn't remember that. We couldn't handle that. And that's why God has blessed us and taken that memory from us. God has wiped that memory from us out of the mercy and his grace. See, we get a broken heart now and we get suicidal. We get a broken heart now or we lose a business experience or whatever the case may be now. And man, we're ready to commit suicide. We're ready to lose our rabbit mind. You couldn't handle all of those memories at the same time. You can handle that. And the trick, and this is going to be kind of borderline sensitive and a touchy situation for some people. Why don't we remember? I propose. This was something God had to show me. And I was sitting there one day and I'm like, God, I hear all these people talk about they were born homosexual. And I don't understand that, God. How could these people be born homosexual? Their daddy and mom are heterosexuals. All their siblings are heterosexual. How could they be born homosexual? God, help me understand, because I was homophobic to the umpteenth degree. I didn't want nothing to do with homosexuality or the people that were homosexual. Stay with me. And God had to show me, Elijah, in their previous lifetime, they were the opposite sex. And so what their soul remembers in this lifetime, as a young girl, they don't remember that they were a boy before. But they still remember their attachments or their attractions to girls or to females. Guys just remember their attractions to guys because there were females in the past. And so their soul still remembers that attraction. That's all they remember. And so they're born into this lifetime. They're born into this certain body. They're a female, they're a male, whatever, but they remember liking the opposite or the same sex. Because your soul is not heterosexual. Your soul is not male or female. Our souls don't have any division like that. God's not male or female. Our spirits aren't male or female. It's just our physical being that's male and female. And that's just for the purpose of reproduction, replenishing the earth. And so what God had shown me is they remember just that piece about a previous life. And so that's why they feel like, man, I'm born in the wrong body. I'm a girl, but I'm really a boy. I'm a boy, but I'm really a girl. I feel like a girl. I am a girl, because that's what they remember from their previous life. Being a young lady, dressing up with makeup and lipstick and all the other stuff. And they can't shake that. And there's nothing you can do to tell them that they're not, because they have that memory. You can't pray that away from them. You can't save that away from them. That is a part of who they are. They don't remember nothing else but that little tiny piece. I've always liked girls. I came into the world liking girls. I came into the world liking boys. I've always been like that. Since I was a little kid, I knew that I was the wrong sex, because they remembered being the opposite sex. And so our whole journey this time is just to go through all the hell and the pain and the suffering that's been inflicted on us, so that we could pay back our karmic debt, and so that we can go through the process of remembering who we are, remembering why we came here. See, life would be so easy if you were born and you remember right off the gate, man, I'm gonna do whoop 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 whoop, and da 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 da, and nothing's gonna get in my way, and blah 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 blah. Man, life would be so easy. Life would be so simple if we just came into the world and we remembered every soul contract we had. Oh yeah, I made a soul contract with this person, and this person said they're going to be my daddy, and they're going to help me go through, self-hatred. And I made a soul contract with this person, and they're going to teach me and help me understand or go through forgiveness. And this person right here said they're going to help me deal with my anger, and this person right here said I had an issue with da da da, and they're going to help me with this. And so we have all these soul contracts of all these people that we made agreements, our souls that we made agreements with, and now we're here on earth, and everybody is fulfilling that part of their agreement. They don't remember it, just like you don't remember it. My father don't know anything or remember anything about that soul contract he and I had prior to both of us coming here. My father's here just living out his life however he sees fit to live his life out. He is doing whatever he thought he was supposed to do. Part of that was to teach me so many life lessons. See, because in the past life, man, I had to murder somebody's mama. In the past life, I had to molest some little kid. And so that was part of my process of what I had to experience in this lifetime. I had to go through that pain and that suffering. I had to watch my mama as a baby being murdered and being hopeless and helpless of being able to do anything to help her. Why? Because in a past life, I did that. And so you reap what you sow. But there's no way for me to understand the pain and the hell that I inflicted on those other people unless I now have to go through those same experiences. I now have to walk that same journey. I now have to understand the pain that I caused somebody else. I don't remember doing any of that stuff, and I don't like thinking that I did that stuff. But the reality is, it is what it is. You reap what you sow. And we think we're so self-righteous, we're so good. I would never do anything like that. I would never stoop myself to that low. I would never be a murderer. I would never be a rapist. I would never be a child molester. I would never be a thief. We have all these things that we sit back and say about who we are and what we would never do. That's all ego. Excuse me, I'm trying to get some water. That's all ego. The reality is, everything that we've gone through, everything that you've gone through, I don't give a damn how bad it is. I don't give a damn what it was. You reap what you sow. That's a universal law. You cannot escape it. You can't avoid it. You can't pray your way out of that. You can't thank Jesus enough out of that. You can be good all you want to. You reap what you sow. What you plant, you shall reap. It's going to grow. And the only way for you to learn and understand the pain and the suffering that you've caused on others is for you to have to go through that in this lifetime. You've had to experience this. You had to experience the brokenness and the rejection and the abandonment and the hurt and the pain in this lifetime because you've done it to others. But what most of us do, we get fixated on being a victim. We get fixated on, why do I have to go through this? And this is not fair. And I'm always a good person. And I just love people. And I'm just always giving to people. And they just treat me like shit. And nobody likes. We do all this stupid, simple-minded shit because we want to be a fucking victim. The reality, you got what you got because that's what you came here to get. Everything you've experienced, you got what you got because you came here to experience the bullshit. Because you inflicted that bullshit on other people. It is what it is. Own your shit and grow the fuck up. That's a hard pill to swallow. I have no fucking sympathy for nobody. And it's not because I'm just a harsh person. The reality is, man, I've gone through fucking hell. And it's so easy to stay a fucking victim. It's so easy to play my fucking violin and say, woe is me, and life's not fair, and woo-doo-doo-woo. But you're never going to grow up and reach your full potential by being like that. And so when you understand the fact that, damn, you reap what you sow. So everything I've done in this lifetime, maybe I didn't do anything to anybody in this lifetime to reap this shit. But damn, okay, I've done it in different lifetimes. And now I gotta own this shit. Now I gotta pay the piper. Now I have to answer for it. Now I have to understand exactly what it was that I've done. I have to understand the pain that I inflicted on others. I have to understand the suffering that I inflicted on others. That's the only way that I'm going to truly understand the gravity of my actions. I'm never going to learn that being a victim. I'm never going to learn that crying and playing the violin. You have to grow up. And growing up is accepting the reality for what it is. And we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to acknowledge that. Because that's taboo. And man, that makes me out to be a bad guy in previous lives. And nobody wants to be a bad guy. Everybody wants to be a good person. Everybody wants to be a savior. Everybody wants to be a fucking hero. Everybody wants to be saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water baptized. But you've been fucked up. You ain't always been like this. You ain't always been on your growth and development kick. You ain't always been, man, I want to deal with my issues. You ain't always been like this. You've been wilding the fuck out just like everybody else. You running the streets, hoeing and slanging and doing all the bullshit everybody else is doing. We have to grow up, family. We have to understand the fact that, man, we've been every race. We've been both genders. We've been all of that. I've been white, I've been Chinese, I've been Hispanic, I've been Native American, I've been European, I've been all of that shit. And that's why me personally, I don't get caught up in black power and power to the people and man, our African ancestry will do, because we've been every fucking thing. We have to grow the fuck up. All white people have been black in a previous lifetime. All black people have been white in a previous lifetime. Grow the fuck up. And so we don't remember all that shit. But our journey is to humble ourselves. Our journey is to forget about all the bullshit that's been dumped on us. Our journey, our struggle is to sit there and say, damn, I've been programmed to believe in black power. I've been programmed to believe in white power. I've been programmed to believe in da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. Man, bless you, Rocky, for that donation. We've been programmed to believe all this shit. I know you guys don't see it as a cash app. I'm not tripping. So, bless you. We've been programmed to not believe in any of this stuff. We've been programmed to believe that, man, if you don't believe in this religious belief, you're going to hell. If you don't believe in this right here, you have no hope. If you don't believe in this, there's no future for you. We've been programmed to believe in so many stupid ass things. And so our journey is to be able to sit there and say, damn, how do I go with it? How do I discover the truth? See, because as long as I look externally, I'm going to get programmed some more bullshit. As long as I go look for the politicians, they're going to program me with some more bullshit. As long as I look towards religion, and I don't give a damn what religion it is, they're going to program me with some more bullshit. If I keep looking to my family, they're going to program me with some more bullshit. This is the reason why I tell people, a lot of us, man, get as far away from your family as possible. A lot of us, man, we grew up in this family, toxic ass fucking family. And all they know is bullshit. All they doing is bullshit. And so for so many of us, we got to get as far away and disconnected from them as possible in order to grow up and reach our full potential. But we've been programmed to believe that blood is thicker than water. You gotta stay with family. You gotta support your family. You gotta stay around your family and stay connected to your family. I don't give a damn how toxic they are. I don't give a damn how poisonous they are. I don't give a damn if they all on dope, if they all stealing and killing, trying to sleep with your wife and sleep with your husband and rape your kids and molest your kids. I don't give a damn what your family do. That's family. You stay with them and you keep them along. And that bullshit, I will cut every motherfucker loose. I will beat the shit out of my own family. I don't give a fuck about those quote-unquote connections. Because I'm on a fucking journey to discover why I'm here and what my purpose is. And I'm not going to allow your toxic, crazy, fucked up mentality to stop me. And if you do something to mine, by any means necessary. By any means necessary. We gonna solve this problem one way or another. So it's best for me just to cut y'all asses off, leave you the fuck wherever you at, and just take my ass over somewhere else. So I don't have to catch a fucking case. So I don't have to beat the snot out of you. Fuck the family thing, you know what I mean? For some of us, you know what I mean? Some of us, we got great families, you know what I mean? The great majority of us, we don't. And we have this attachment and we stay connected to our family. And we stay connected to that bullshit. And we never grow up and reach our fucking full potential because we're trying to be accepted by toxic, dead-ass motherfucking weight that ain't doing shit in life. These motherfuckers sitting there talking Jesus, but ain't manifesting Jesus at all. They talking God, but nothing about their life reflects God. Nothing about their life reflects love. Nothing about their life reflects compassion. Nothing about their life reflects growth and development. But they talk all this bullshit. What's up with you, Renee? We have to grow up. We have to understand, why am I here? I'm here to go through all of the hell that I've gone through. But not just to go through it, to grow through it. See, we all go through shit, but not everyone grows through it. And if you don't grow through it, you're going to keep going through it. Same shit, different day. Why? Because you won't grow the fuck up. So you keep picking deadbeat dudes. You keep picking trampy, hoish ass fucking women. You keep picking stupid ass business partners that rob the fuck out of you. You keep doing stupid ass shit. We keep doing stupid ass shit. because we won't grow the fuck up. We won't learn how to think outside of the box, to get disconnected from the fucking matrix. I don't want to be like my mama. I don't want to be like my daddy. I don't want to be like my crazy ass cousins and uncles and aunties. All they talk is Christianity, but they don't understand fucking Christianity. They've been spewing that shit for the longest, and they're fucking hateful. They've been spewing that shit for the longest, and they're so fucking angry and toxic. They've been spewing that shit for the longest, and nothing about them makes me want to see Jesus. Nothing about them makes me see God in their life. So why am I here? Why did I go through all the shit that I went through? Why did my father murder my mom in front of me when I'm 2 years old? When I felt helpless and hopeless? Why was I molested twice as a 6-year-old kid by Christian people? When I felt helpless and hopeless? See, all of that was part of the journey. All of that was part of the process. See, but what I understood from that was, as this little kid, was I ain't shit. Because my family is telling me I ain't shit. My family's telling me I ain't gonna amount to shit. And I thought that's who I was. So I didn't know how to love me. Because the church never taught me how to love me. The church said you love Jesus, you love everybody else, and you loved yourself last. They said that was the acronym for joy. Joy, Jesus, others, yourself last. And that's why the great majority of motherfuckers in church are fucked up, frustrated, depressed, suicidal, full of hatred, anger, all this other shit, because they got life fucking twisted. I don't give a damn how much you speak in tongues. I don't give a damn how much you jump and shout around in the church. I don't give a damn how much you quote the fucking Bible. If you don't learn to love yourself, what fucking good have you done? If you don't learn how to deal with your fucking issues and your pain and your suffering and learn how to heal yourself from that baggage, what fucking good have you done? You can have all the money in the world and still be depressed. You can have all the money in the world and still be suicidal. There's been a whole lot of rich people, whole lot of famous people who got strung out on dope. Whole lot of rich people, whole lot of famous people who've committed suicide, who've had drug overdoses. So it's obviously not about becoming rich and famous. That's not the epic place in life. That's not the goal, is to become rich and famous. The goal of our life is to deal with our fucking issues. Let me say it again. The goal, the purpose of our life is to deal with our issues. And everybody have issues. I don't give a fuck what you look like. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Every one of us have things that we have not resolved. Every one of us have things that we have not outgrown yet. We have not dealt with yet. The great majority of us, we just so used to pretending. We're the great fucking pretenders. We walk around, man, how you doing? Man, I'm blessed and highly favored. Man, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so happy. I'm just so anointed. I'm just so appointed. And we got all this stupid religious bullshit we quote. We have all this religion. Man, I'm so happy. Life is so great. And on the inside, I'm fucking dying. On the inside, I'm lonely as hell. On the inside, I'm miserable. On the inside, I want to slap the fuck out of a motherfucker. But I can't tell you that because I got to pretend that life is so good for me. I'm so happy. I know I'm going to go home to my dog. I know I'm going to go home to my kitty cats. And they're the only motherfuckers in the whole world that likes me. They're the only motherfuckers in the whole world that loves me. It's my raggedy ass cat that I got to take care of. My ugly ass fucking dog that I got to take care of. Nobody else loves me. Nobody else likes me. Nobody else wants to spend time with me. But I'm so happy. Life is so beautiful. Bullshit. We have to grow up. You're here for a purpose. And that purpose is not just to produce a bunch of fucking babies. That purpose is not to be somebody's doormat. That purpose is not just to accumulate a bunch of fucking money and superficial petty things. That purpose is to understand, damn, why did I go through all of that stuff? Nothing happens by accident. There is no such thing as coincidence. Everything is divine timing. Everything. And so when I look at my daddy, and I see that my dad murdered my mom right in front of me, that fucked me up. That fucked me up. Flipped my world upside down. That began the process of me hating myself. That began the process of me feeling inadequate. The fact that my dad rejected me before that my dad didn't want shit to do with me, was always on me and stuff. Man, that was the process. It was for me to have to grow into the person that I am. But it started right then. It started with that self-hatred. And then me being molested at church. And then my family, Christian family, telling me that I wasn't shit all the time. Telling me how stupid I was. Telling me how dumb I was. Telling me how they couldn't wait for me to leave. And so that made me feel even more inadequate. And here's the trick. I went through all of that. I wouldn't be who I am today had I not gone through everything that I've gone through. I wouldn't be who I am today had I not saw my daddy murder my mom when I was 2. I wouldn't be who I am today had my father not rejected me as a baby. I wouldn't be who I am today had I not been molested as a 6-year-old kid twice. I wouldn't be who I am today had not all these women walked out of my life and told me I wasn't shit. I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't be the loving, compassionate, giving person that I am today. I don't regret a damn thing about my life. Nothing. I'm grateful for every experience I've had, good or bad. The bad experiences taught me the most. The bad experiences, man, they put me on the journey, on the path to self-discovery, to self-love, to self-love. They put me on a path to understand forgiveness. See, if you never go through anything and you never have to forgive somebody, then you don't know what forgiveness is about. You can't really understand forgiveness until you've been in a place to where you've had to forgive somebody for hurting you deeply. You can't really understand the process of forgiveness until you've had somebody fuck you up. And now I gotta forgive them. I couldn't understand how God could be so forgiving. I couldn't understand how could God be so loving, so compassionate, and so forgiving with all of these motherfuckers running around doing stupid ass shit, wilding the fuck up. How could God love me? My own raggedy, wretched ass fucking family don't love me. And you gonna tell me that God sitting up high loves me? How could God love me? I ain't shit, but how can he love me? I can never understand how God loves me until I learn how to love myself. I can never understand how could God forgive me for all the mistakes I've done, all the poor choices I've made, all the times he told me to go left and I said, fuck you, and I went right. I can't understand forgiveness until I learn to sit back and say, damn, God told me to do da-da-da-da, and I told God to kiss my fucking ass. I'm going to do my own fucking thing. And God told me to do whoop-de-whoop, and I said, fuck you, kiss my black ass, da-da-da-da, and I went da-da-da-da. Now I'm sitting back and it's like, fuck. Man, God don't beat my fucking ass. God don't drag me by my fucking nappy head. God don't grab me by my fucking throat and choke the shit out my ass. God got my fucking attention. Now that I'm sitting back reflecting on my life, it's like, oh shit. Okay, God, my bad. God, I'm no longer angry at God. I'm no longer blaming God for murdering my mama. for him, for my daddy murdering mama, because I blame God for that. I was mad at God for that. Because if God is so fucking powerful, why didn't he stop him? If God is so loving and so gracious, why didn't he stop my nappy-headed fucking daddy from killing my mama? If God was so loving, so powerful, and everywhere, then why did he allow this 6-year-old kid to get molested twice by fucking Christians? That doesn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. How can you be God and loving and compassionate and whoop, and you allow these motherfuckers to do this shit to me? What the fuck did I do to deserve this? What does a 6-year-old do to deserve to be molested? What does a 2-year-old deserve to be, what could a 2-year-old have done to deserve to be rejected by his fucking father and to be beaten by his father and to have his mother murdered right in front of him? What 2-year-old, what could any 2-year-old, what could any kid do to see and to deserve watching his daddy stab his mama 49 times in a fit of rage? You could only imagine how traumatic that was. Watching my mama scream, hearing my mama scream, and I'm screaming, and nobody coming to the fucking rescue. Nobody's listening to us. And I'm crying out, and nobody's there. Nobody's there to console me. Nobody's there to pick me up and tell me it's gonna be okay. Nobody's there to grab my stupid ass, ignorant ass daddy and pull him away from the situation. Nobody's there to pick my mom up and to hold her and to protect her from that fucking knife wound. And so I'm looking at this shit over and over and just watching my dad and listening to my mom, and I'm hopeless and helpless. And I'm angry as fuck. I'm angry as fuck. And all I could do, now I'm hating everybody. Fuck family. My family killed my family. Don't talk to me about how great family is. Look at what my fucking family just did. Don't tell me blood is thicker than water. Look at what my fucking daddy just did. I ain't got time for you self-righteous motherfuckers that ain't went through shit to try to tell me how my life is supposed to be, how I'm supposed to be loving and caring and forgiving and all that bullshit, because you ain't experienced shit. And so I grew up without my mom. I'm 52. I'll be 53 in 2 months. And I still miss her. She's been dead and gone for 50 years. 50 years she's been gone. And I still think about her. I still sometimes wonder what my life would have been like had I grew up with a mom that loved me. What would my life been like had I grew up with a mom that was nurturing? What would my life been like had I grew up with a mom that was compassionate, that told me she loved me, that held me, that cooked for me? I could see her smile, I could see her laugh, I could see her rubbing my head and her telling me it's okay. What would my life have been like? And so we get all these self-righteous, arrogant, narcissistic motherfuckers always trying to tell somebody else what the fuck they supposed to be doing, and they ain't never went through the fucking pain and suffering I went through. And so I'm mad at the world. I'm mad at God. I'm mad at humanity. I'm mad at my family. And God had to show me, Elijah, you came here to be a beacon of hope. You came here to let your light shine. To let your light shine. To give hope to others, to speak life into others. But in order for you to do that, you got to go through some fucking shit. In order to do that, you're going to have to heal some fucking shit. You're going to have to let go of some fucking shit. You're going to have to learn how to forgive. Don't just forgive your daddy. Yeah, you're going to have to forgive him. And don't just say you forgive him with your mouth, and yet you still hate him. Forgiveness is an action. It's an action. Just like love. Everybody talks about love, but their actions don't show love. Everybody talks about joy and peace and happiness, but their life and their actions don't reflect joy, peace, and happiness. If you talk about it, then you got to be about it. My great uncle told me that when I was a kid, and that's always stayed with me. He asked me what I want to do with my life, and I told him some stuff. He said, don't talk about it, be about it. And so many of us, man, we want to be chosen. We want to be ordained and anointed and appointed by God. We want to be all these people. We want to do all these things in life, but we don't want to do the basics. We don't want to heal. We don't want to sit there and understand, man, why am I so fucking twisted? Why am I so fucking angry? Why am I so fucking racist? Why am I so fucking homophobic? Why am I so intolerant of other people's religions? Why am I da-da-da-da? Why do I hate fucking Democrats and they liberal asses? Why do I hate fucking conservatives and they racist asses? Why? We got all these fucking questions. And we won't sit down and understand the why. Everybody wants to know who I am. Why am I here? What's my purpose? But nobody wants to go through the process of sitting there in the fucking dark, in your fucking pain, in your fucking loneliness, and dealing with the shit. Nobody wants to do that because it's painful. It's painful remembering the past. It's painful remembering all the shit that I've gone through. That's painful. That hurts me all over again. That hurts me all over again. But the only way to heal is you gotta deal with your shit. You gotta deal with your shit, and you gotta be honest and transparent with yourself. You have to be transparent with yourself. And so when I looked at my daddy, 2015, when I'm looking, my wife is getting ready to die, and I'm having this conversation with God, and I'm looking at my dad, and I'm understanding why my dad did all that he did. I'm understanding now, or then, why I had to go through all I had to go through. I'm understanding then, 2015, why I was molested. That was so long ago. I was 6 years old when I was molested. I didn't understand it till 2015. As a young man, I slept with all these women. Every woman I could. I didn't say no to anybody. I was a man-ho and didn't give a fuck. I'm sleeping with all these women, and God had to show me later on. It's like around 2006, 2007. God was talking to me. No, excuse me, 96. God was asking me a question. God, I just got out the car. I was in the military down in LA at the time, single parent. And God, I heard God ask me, Elijah, why are you doing all that you do? I'm like, what, huh? Why are you sleeping with all those women? I'm like, oh, what? And God, Elijah, you know you're not gay. He's like, yeah, I know I'm not gay. I know I'm not gay. What are you talking about? And the voice said, again, Elijah, you know you're not gay. And now I'm pissed because I know I'm not gay. To each their own, you know what I mean? Do what you do. But I've never been gay. And so I'm sitting there, I've never had thoughts or imaginations of being with a dude. That's never crossed my mind. But I struggled with that growing up. Why would these guys do that to me? Why did they think I liked this? Did they see something in me that I don't recognize in myself? And so I struggled. I had identity issues with that, with my sexuality because of that. And so what God had to show me was, Elijah, you sleeping with all these women because you're trying to prove that you're not gay. You're sleeping with all these women because you got this war going on spiritually and emotionally in your head, and you trying to prove something that you don't need to prove. Who are you trying to prove it to? Nobody knows you was molested. Nobody knows you got these issues. They just think you're a fucking hoe. You sleeping with all these women, what is that proving? You're not just sleeping with one woman, you sleeping with 2, 3, 4 women at a time, at the same fucking time. Why? Because it became a drug to you. Okay, you sleeping with one, any guy could do that. You don't have that fucking game to sleep with a woman. Oh, well, you get another woman in it. Okay, cool. You got a little bit of game. Okay, after I did that enough, okay, that's no challenge, no big deal. It's like my tolerance of alcohol. Man, it just keeps increasing. Like your tolerance, your drug choice, whatever your drug of choice is, man, it keeps increasing the more you do it. So it takes more to get you to that same fucking high. And so now I got to have 3 and 4 women at the same time just to be able to enjoy sex. Because 1 woman wasn't enough then. 2 women weren't enough. 3 women weren't enough. I needed to have more. Why? Because the demons within me was telling me that wasn't enough. So I'm sleeping with all these fucking women trying to prove I'm the fucking man. Trying to prove I'm the guy. Trying to prove that I'm not gay. And so when God explained all that to me, and I was like, fuck, just an eye opening, he's fucking awake me, right? It's like, damn. I understood when God explained that to me. When God walked me back down all my hoish ways. When God took me back down my path of sleeping with all these fucking women, I understood it for the first time. He gave me a totally different perspective. He opened my eyes to some real shit that I couldn't understand. Damn, I'm sleeping with all these women to prove that I'm not gay. And I know I'm not gay. If I know I'm not gay, then I ain't got to sleep with all these women. And at that moment, I was done. I didn't have to sleep with all those women anymore. I didn't have to do all the same stupid shit that I was doing. But I had to understand the process. I had to understand the journey. And what we all need to understand right now is, why do we do what we do? Why do we struggle the way we struggle? Why do we have the self-hate that we have? Why are we so fucking depressed? Why are we so fucking suicidal? Some of us have everything going our way. Some of us have all the nice things in life, and we're still suicidal. Some of us have great companions, great money, great houses, great cars, and all this, and we're still depressed. We're still frustrated. We're still suicidal. Why? It's the journey. It's the journey. We have to understand the journey. In order for you to understand who you are, you gotta understand the journey. You can't see and recognize yourself until you see and understand the journey. The whole journey. It'll change your perspective. Get some more water, I'm sorry. It'll change your whole perspective of your life. It'll change your whole perspective of all your experiences. It'll stop you from being so angry. It'll stop you from being so bitter. It'll stop you from being so unforgiving. It'll help you become more compassionate, more loving. It'll help you be more grateful. See, I went from hating my dad. I went from wanting to put a bullet in my dad. I even told my dad I had a bullet with his name on it. And if he ever brought his raggedy ass back to Cali again, I was gonna take him out the fucking box. I was gonna split his fucking wig. I told my father that. And I had to go ask him for forgiveness. I had to apologize for telling him that. He never apologized for murdering my mom. And I never needed him to after that point. Because I understood why he had to do that. He may not understand why he had to do that. He may not understand why he got so angry and he took her out the way he did. Why he treated me like shit. My father died in 2018, I believe it was. He never apologized for his actions. And I never needed him to. It wasn't until 2018 that my father told me that he loved me and that he was proud of me. And the Tripp family, I didn't even need it. I didn't need his love. I didn't need his affirmations, his approval. I didn't need any of that. When he said it, it was as though it was nothing. It meant absolutely nothing to me. And yet my whole life, I grew up struggling, wanting my dad's love, wanting my dad's affirmation, wanting to be good enough for my father. So I'm wilding the fuck out, knocking motherfuckers out, doing stupid ass shit, hoeing, just doing stupid ass shit because my daddy did that. My daddy was yoked up, so I had to be yoked up. My daddy was a big dude and a threatening and intimidating dude, so I had to be like that. Because I had to show my dad, Daddy, do you love me now? Daddy, am I good enough now? Daddy, 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 daddy. Because I had fucking daddy issues I hadn't resolved. And so I had to understand later on, man, my daddy had his own issues he had to deal with. And the truth is, they really didn't have anything to do with me. But as a little kid, I personalized it. Because that's what we all do. Anytime somebody does something bad to us or does something, we personalize it. What did I do to deserve this? And then we try to make it right. And you can't make it right because you didn't make it wrong. That's their shit. And until they're ready to deal with it, it's going to stay wrong. That's their journey. Your journey was to go through what you went through and to grow through it. You didn't come here to be their savior. You didn't come here to be their fucking Captain Hero or their Captain Save-A-Hole. You came here to deal with your shit. You came here to go through what you went through so that you can learn from it, so that you could grow from it. Now, after you've grown from it and you've connected with God, now you can let your light shine. Now, when people see you, now, when people hear you, they hear God. They see God. They know that, man, there is a God. And they ain't talking about what Christian people talk about. You know, man, this guy ain't even a Christian. I'm not a Christian, but this guy talks. And man, if I could see what God's done for this guy, if God could bring this dude from whoop to whoop to whoop to whoop and out of all da, man, there gotta be a God. If God could bring this dude and help him deal with all his anger and his hatred and all the other shit that he's gone through and help him become a beacon of hope and love and use his story to inspire and to encourage and empower other people, man, that's God. That's God. That's purpose being fulfilled. That's letting our light shine. But you can only do that after you deal with your shit. You got to deal with your shit. You came here to deal with all of the shit that you've experienced, regardless of what it is. You could sit and say you didn't ask for all of that. It is what it is. Your karmic debt says that you asked for all of that. You wanted to experience all of that in this lifetime. I tell people, man, I feel like I lived 5 lifetimes. I feel like I'm on my 6th lifetime, my 6th life in this one lifetime. In this one lifetime. I didn't understand as a 6-year-old kid, before I was molested, I promised God that I would live for him. I promised God that I would go wherever he told me to go. I promised God I'll say whatever he told me to say. And I asked him to give me the characteristics of 5 people to help me do that. Little 6-year-old kid. And I asked him for the love of David. I asked him for the faith of Job, the strength of Samson, the wisdom of Solomon, and the teaching ability of Paul. I asked him for those 5 characteristics from those 5 men in the Bible. And the next week I was molested. The next week is when I got molested. After crying out to God and making a quote unquote deal with, my world was flipped upside down again. My world was already fucked up from my daddy murdering my mama and my daddy being in the penitentiary. Now, 4 years later, as if that wasn't enough, 4 years later, I'm crying out to God in my room, pleading with God to give me these 5 characteristics. And then I get molested twice. And I hated God. I hated God because I didn't understand. I didn't understand the journey. I didn't understand the process. And what God had to show me was, Elijah, did you just think I was going to just sprinkle gold dust on you and you was going to get this wisdom? Did you think I was just going to snap my fingers and you was going to have the faith and the teaching ability of Paul and the love of David and the strength of Sam? You thought I was just going to just pull out and boom, you're blessed and you're anointed in all those areas? No, that's not how life works. That's not how life works. You ask for those 5 things, I put you in a position to see those 5 characteristics already within you. Because you were asking me as a 6-year-old kid for something you already had. You just didn't know you had the faith of Job. You didn't know you had the love of David, the strength of Samson, the wisdom of Solomon, and the teaching ability of Paul. You didn't know you had that already. So I put you in a situation to where you had to learn all of that shit. And so I broke you down. And I allowed life to beat the fuck out of you and to stomp you out. Because I knew that you would rise again. See, and I didn't understand that as a kid. Everybody talks about God won't put more on you than you can handle. And I'm like, God got me fucked up. You know what I mean? God got life fucked up. Because if I couldn't handle my father rejected me. I couldn't handle my father murdering my mama. I couldn't handle being growing up in that fucking toxic ass, crazy ass family that I did. I couldn't handle that shit. So I thought. I couldn't handle being molested, not once but twice. I couldn't handle all the women leaving me. I couldn't handle my only brother dying from colon cancer. I couldn't handle my wife dying the next year of breast cancer. It was too much. And the truth be told, man, I've shared it. I tried to die in China. 2016, I'm done with life. Fuck God, fuck the world, fuck humanity. I'm done. I can't take no more. And God had to show me. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I know you don't think you can handle anymore. Get your whining ass up. You got the strength of Samson. You got the love of David. You got the faith of Job. You got the wisdom of Solomon. You got the teaching ability of Paul all within you already. Get your whining ass up. And remember who the fuck you are. Understand who the fuck you are. Yeah, I know you want to die. You want to die several times. I don't give a fuck about you wanting to die. You're not going to die before it's your time. Get the fuck up and get busy about who you are and why you're here. And so now, I sit back, and of all the stuff that I've gone through, out of all the pain that I've endured, I'm able to share my story. I'm able to share my testimony. Out of all the depression and all the times I want to commit suicide and the times that I tried to commit suicide, I'm able to sit here and talk about it now. I'm able to sit here and be transparent on all of my videos and talk about my pain and my struggles and the shit that I've gone through. Why? Because I grew through them. I had to remember who I was. I had to understand why I'm here. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. There's sometimes, family, if the truth be told, I don't even feel like doing a fucking video. Real talk. I don't even feel like doing a video sometimes. Sometimes I don't even want to do YouTube anymore. Sometimes I'm just tired and it's like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Fuck, I'm done. You know what I mean? I've done enough. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. I'm tired. I just want to run away and hide out in the fucking mountains. I just want to go hibernate like a fucking bear in the mountains and not be around nobody. Not talk to nobody. I just want to be able to go meditate all by my fucking self with my wife and just be out in the boonies with nobody around for miles away. That's how I feel sometimes. Just being honest. There's over 900 videos. And we've just doing this just over 2 years. August, we hit 2 years. And every time I get to the point of I'm fucking done and I'm not doing nothing else and I want to do something else, God is like, okay, I'm patting you on your back. Get the shit out and get your ass over there and make a fucking video. Okay, you said that. Now take your raggedy ass over there and stop crying, stop acting like a little bitch, and go do what men do. Go do what you're supposed to do. We get frustrated sometimes. We get tired sometimes. We get exhausted sometimes. We get to the point of, man, I'm done, dude. I'm done. These motherfuckers ain't listening anyways. You know what I mean? Why am I wasting my time? Why am I wasting my breath? Why am I wasting my energy? And we go through that. That's life. That's life. That happens to all of us. Am I making a difference? We all think stuff like this. Do I matter? We all think stuff like this. We all think stuff like this. How come my channel's not growing? How come all these people are talking about bullshit and superficial bullshit and they got hundreds of thousands of fucking followers and thousands of fucking viewers and they ain't talking about shit. They talking about straight bullshit and these motherfuckers love this shit. And God is like, what the fuck does that got to do with you? What the fuck does that got to do with why you're here? You didn't come here to talk about bullshit. You didn't come here to talk about the superficial shit. You didn't come here for all these affirmations and these pat on the backs and you're doing so good, Elijah, and thank you, Elijah. You didn't come here for this bullshit. And I have to be reminded of that sometimes. Just being honest with you guys. Just being transparent. We have to understand the process. have to meditate daily. I have to stay connected to God daily. Because if I don't, I'm gone. What am I saying? If I don't, man, I'm fuck YouTube, fucking TikTok, fuck Facebook, fuck Instagram, fuck all this shit. I'm out this bitch. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go do me out on this fucking wilderness with nobody else around. And so I have to stay connected to God. I have to keep humbling myself in meditation and being connected to God, because it's not about me. It's not about what I want. Because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. You came here for a purpose. And it gets hard sometimes. It's frustrating sometimes. It's confusing and lonely sometimes. But it ain't about you. It's bigger than you. It's always bigger than you. It's always bigger than you. Don't let your experiences stunt your growth and development. Don't let your pain and your suffering stunt your growth and development. You have to stay connected to God. You have to meditate. Staying connected to God. I sit back in life and it's like, damn. It was hard as fuck. But I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful. Because the reality, I know that I didn't have to be here right now. I didn't have to be here right now. God spared me. He kept me here. Just like he spared you, and he's kept you here this long. For whatever reason, I tried to commit suicide in 2016 in China. Because God has kept me here. I didn't even start my YouTube channel till August 24th of 2020. I have 4 grandkids. 4 grandkids. All 4 of them was born after I had tried to commit suicide. I would have never seen my grandkids. I would have never met you all. I've spoken to people all over the world because of this platform. I've given counseling and coaching and mentoring sessions to people in South Africa, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Israel, just so many different places. Only because God has kept me here. That's not bragging or anything of that nature. I'm just showing you, look at what God's done when I wanted to die and I was ready to give up. Because he kept me here, kept me on this journey, kept me moving when I was ready to fold. Now I sit back and just in utter awe, utter amazement. I have a beautiful queen I would have never met had I died in China. You don't know what the future holds for you. You don't know what life is going to reveal and unfold for you. I was done with love. I was done with love. I was tired of being hurt, tired of being broken. We have to remember why we're here. We have to understand why we're here. We have to deal with our issues, however painful they are. Because then once we deal with them, we have to be able to share our story and our experiences with others. Because the reality is, it is what it is. There's people getting molested every day. That's a sad reality. There's people getting their heart broke every day. There's people dealing with frustration and loneliness and depression and anxiety and fear and all self-hatred and all that. People deal with that stuff every day. Every day. And for those of us that have gone through those things, it is our job to allow our light to shine so that these people that are coming after us can have a glimmer of hope. They can see that, dang, if God can do it for that person, if that person who's gone through all of that crap and they can overcome and look at where they're at today and they can accomplish this and they can accomplish this and they can do this, man, then what can I do? Then, man, if they could go through this, then I could go through it. If they was raised like that, then man, I didn't grow up like that, but I know some of the stuff they went through, man, then that gives me hope. Then, man, my life can get better. I can find somebody that loves me for me. I can find somebody that just worships me. I can find somebody that adores me for who I am, not what I could do for them. I sit back and I'm blown away at where my life is today compared to 6 years ago when I was done. When I was done. And the trip is earlier this year, I published a book. My beautiful queen and I were working on another one. And it'll be ready in a few months. It'll be published in a few months. I would have never been able to do this stuff if I had died in 2016. Like I planned, like I wanted to. I don't know how many people I've helped by these videos. And that's none of my concern. I know that I have. And for those that I have, man, I'm grateful for that. I'm humbled for that. Because I know it was all God. Because if it was up to me, I'd have been dead and gone. If I had my way, I'd have been dead and gone. So it ain't about me. You guys hear me say all the time, namaste. The God in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God in you. I just want you to see God. I just want you to have a relationship with God. I'm not talking about religion. God. God, that's it. I just want you to know that, man, I don't care what you've gone through, where you've been, what you've experienced, what you did wrong, what people have done wrong. None of that matters. It's all irrelevant. You could get beyond all of it. You can outgrow all of it. People trip out when they hear that I'm 52 years old. Man, bro, you don't look like that. Man, bro, I hear your story. You don't look like you've gone through all that. And that's what God can do for you. I'm just an example of what God can do in your life, what God can do for your life. But you have to get connected to God. You have to deal with your issues. You got to grow up. You got to face your demons, your monsters, your trauma, your baggage. You have to face it. Man, I hope and pray that I've said something in this live to bless you, to encourage you, to empower you, to inform you that, man, life can be so much better than what it is. And it doesn't matter how great life is for you right now. It doesn't matter how horrible life is for you right now. It can be so much better. You can have peace of mind. You can have joy. That joy that passes all. Man, it don't even make sense why I have so much joy. You can have that happy, that real happiness. And I'm not talking about, we get drunk and we get lit, we get high, and man, we just look happy and just giggly because we drunk and all that other stupid shit. And then after we stop giggling, we start crying. We go home by ourselves and we start crying because the truth is we're really frustrated. We're really lonely. We're really miserable. You can have peace. You can have joy. You can have true happiness. You can. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. You can stay miserable and frustrated, depressed, and all that other stuff. Or you can have peace and happiness and joy. Man, I love each and every one of you. My queen and I love you. We thank you guys for being on this journey. We thank you for being with us this long in this life. I didn't realize it was this long. We thank you for your support. We thank you for all that you do with us and for us. I have another video that I'm releasing tonight at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We release our videos every day. Saturday and Sunday, we do a live stream. Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we have our first live. And every now and then we'll do another one Saturday evening at 6, but definitely Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll go live again. Thank you guys. Happy healing. Peace.